do you then, therefore, obviously you are seeing green shoots of investments coming despite, in terms of, whatever is being said, that there is not enough investments happening despite the government's push towards, capital expenditure. You subscribe to the view that there are green shoots of investments?
See, because all this is happening now. See, India, for example, take renewable energy. I hope I'm not wrong. India is probably the only country where the entire renewable energy needs will go to growth. So because most of the energy we have is, what we have is probably not even 1/3 of what we need by 2050 or 2047. If you look at it, most of the energy that is required is all to be built. Every other place, the old energy has to be replaced with renewable energy. So it's it's a problematic. For us, all the energy we do will all go towards growth. So there is so much growth opportunity. But we just have to every time worry about the business case, worry about the returns, because these are big projects and you put $2 billion and take an impairment of $1 billion, you lose your right to make the next investment. Right? There will be, everybody will pounce on you. So while there is a lot of opportunity, but we just need to be very, very clear about returns. And if we can't produce returns, we can't invest. So we have to calibrate. Every project, we have to go through the lens carefully.
Big or small?
Big or small. In fact, I feel it's better to do bigger projects than small projects. I get worried when somebody asks for smaller projects.
What is it now, Chandra, having achieved a lot of it, that keeps you sort of, what would I say, awake at night in terms of I must do this, otherwise my entire game plan will not...
I don't get worked up, boss. I don't get worked up, but I think there's a lot to do, and I keep definitely, I wouldn't say worry, I keep thinking about the things to do. Some places we can move faster, we are not moving faster. I know some...
For instance?
It vary from situation to situation, so I don't want to give company examples. Some places we can be more sharper. So I do know that across companies. But then that's the nature of business. Sometimes it's because we don't have the right team. Sometimes it's because people are preoccupied with something else. So those things will happen. So at the end of the day, those kind of things will always be there, but there is nothing to say. Every company, as I said, is quite strong financially, has a growth agenda, and producing excellent results. I think they all have the next few years worked out, so it's a pleasure to see each of them doing what they are doing. And so I can only play a supportive role. Be a sounding board, and challenge them in the right way, support them when they need. So it's fun.
You talked about stepping into the shoes of some of the really legendary predecessors before you. How often do you sort of exchange notes with Mr. Tata, and what does he tell you? He must be very happy with your performance.
So that you should ask him. So, I think he's a very fine person, extremely graceful and gracious. So I don't have a cadence, but I do meet him. Sometimes I reach out, sometimes he reaches out, and we exchange notes, but not anything formal. I think he's been a phenomenal source of strength, and he'll only talk encouragingly. So when I went to him with Air India, he said, "Let's do it." So not too many questions about have you thought through how much money you'll spend. No, I think so. He's been very supportive.
That was anyway something which...
He's very supportive,
yes.
generally, yeah.
What would your advice be, Chandra? We are talking to CEOs. This is an audience full of CEOs, entrepreneurs across the country are listening to you. What would be your 2 or 3 key pieces of advice to CEOs and entrepreneurs in these times?
So I don't have any advice. I'll only say that there are tremendous opportunities. I think whether you're talking Indian business or global business, because whether it is in AI world or energy transition world or the supply chain world, all these are opportunities across sectors. And also innovation, even materials, food, the intersection between technology and biology. I mean, you can take any vector. The opportunity is just tremendous. So I would only say that people should continue to be bold, but they have to have discipline. They have to have discipline, and it does take to build a good business, take time to build a good business.
They need patience also.
They need patience, and I call it inspiration with rigor. Just inspiration doesn't do it. Just talking about rigor all the time doesn't do it. You need the combination. You need the aspiration, inspiration, but you need the rigor in discipline. And then they've got to look at all these opportunities, whether it is all the areas I talked about. What can I say?
And of course, cash flows, as you said, and
That's
returns.
part of discipline is everything. I'm not. So I don't want to say only the cash flows, but I just say that it depends on the business. What is the value proposition? So you need to crack the value proposition. If you don't have a good customer value proposition, what is the problem you're trying to solve?
Yeah,
And why should the customer buy from you? You have to be sharp in customer value proposition. You have to be sharp in customer experience. And when you don't achieve that, you've got to work on it. It takes time. Perfection doesn't happen overnight. And these areas in which, so you can have some sloppiness somewhere in the back end, but not in the front end. You can have kludge solutions sometimes in the back end, but not in the front end. Front end has to be, the experience has to be what the customer deserves. So it's not about cash flow. Cash flows will come, but
the customer experience and the customer satisfaction.
Satisfaction, product. What is it that you're offering? Yeah.